Every single part of the MP game loop will be improved and better than ever. From movement, to shooting, to footsteps, to engagement systems. Movement, to shooting, to footsteps, to engagement systems, to engagement systems, to engagement systems.
What did he say?
What? So yeah, they just said this. I don't know why, I don't know who wrote the script, but some way, somehow, Activision actually just mentioned what they call engagement systems within the Black Ops 6 Direct. My jaw was on the floor, and I couldn't believe my ears. What I find more surprising is that they not only said engagement systems, which is a huge buzzword for a certain part of the community, but they also dropped it completely out of the blue, when they could have easily just left it out. Movement, shooting, footsteps, engagement systems. Like, what is the context here? The only thing I could think of is that they'd be talking about some sort of combat engagement, which would be more immersive. But what would that even mean in that context? They're talking about in-game elements. But let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and see that they're not talking about eomm, but they're still talking about systems in place that are specifically designed to keep players engaged. And most of the time, they're not the friendliest things in the world. Like in previous games, endless amounts of weapon leveling that takes forever. Classic Prestige being back is fantastic, but that still means you have thousands of levels to grind, which most players don't even do anyways. But what other systems in place are actually there to drive actual engagement and player retention within the game? After all, the most addicting thing about any game is the gameplay loop and how it feels to play it. And obviously the matchmaking solely determines your experience. A varied experience is best achieved without any form of matchmaking besides connection-based, which X-Defiant undoubtedly demonstrates. However, the most addictive experience is one that is manipulated and tailored by an extremely complex AI-driven algorithm like Call of Duty's eomm. And if you still think eomm is a myth, they're practically throwing it in your face at this point. And personally, I think it's evolved past the stages of throwing a certain combination of results, though I still believe it's based on this research. However, what you have to know about eomm is that your previous performance affects your current one. Each match is not randomly created. They are specifically tailored to give you the proper result in order to keep you playing the game. And it is no secret at this point. Mark Rubin has said other top dogs in the industry use it. Activision has enough manipulative patented software to make your head spin, and the player experience of Call of Duty doesn't lie. Now they're saying it in a trailer. Hello, people, wake up! Now we can start to theorize why it is that they mentioned this in the first place. First and foremost, it obviously just may be a way to get the reaction that I'm having right now, which is, why are they acknowledging it right in the open? Their response to this reaction may be that they brought it up to let us know that it is changing. After all, in their matchmaking intel blog post, they did say that they were looking into some solutions for matches feeling far too competitive to be enjoyable. Maybe they enact these solutions in this game because, as I've said before, without a change to their matchmaking, X-Defiant may take the cake this year. Another big reason they might have done it is because they know this information is out, and now they have to roll with it because there's no way it's changing. And to players that were watching the Black Ops 6 Direct that are unaware of everything going on behind the scenes, engagement systems sounds like a pretty friendly concept, which is obviously one of its biggest problems. Engagement isn't some positive metric anymore. Engagement allows them to track how addicted you are, and then allows the algorithm to adjust to best suit your pathway to addiction. Even in their most recent Ping research paper, they've talked about how there are multiple KPIs or key performance indicators that track player satisfaction within the matchmaking. Out of all of them, we have quite a few that directly measure player engagement, like player retention and churn rate, like how often people leave, quitting a match early out of frustration, player performance, among others. These things directly line up with a patent that details how the matchmaking is rigged to breed addiction and push microtransactions, which I've covered in a previous video that I'll flag. I'm gonna play the clip one more time just to drive this home.
Every single part of the MP game loop will be improved and better than ever. From movement, to shooting, to footsteps, to engagement systems.
Movement, shooting, footsteps, and engagement systems. Engagement systems. If they're trying to bring multiplayer back to its full glory, which we haven't seen in 6 years, they're gonna have to seriously revamp these engagement systems they've mentioned. And this may be the start of them communicating somehow that the matchmaking is going to be different, because after all, X-Defiant is forcing their hand. After 2 weeks, X-Defiant saw 10 million unique players. 10 million! They're doing something right, and as a competitor for Call of Duty, COD has to adjust their methods because finally, they're not a monopoly anymore. The fact that they directly mention engagement systems shows they're aware of what's happening, and they also have to roll with it at this point. point. Even if matches really do become less sweaty and more fun, the engagement-based system will still be there, which means there will still be rigging happening in virtually every match. I wouldn't trust it despite how good the game looks. I am not pre-ordering this game. Don't fall for it. They literally mention engagement systems within the Black Ops 6 Direct advertising the game. Engagement systems are there to keep you addicted and rig the game. But that's all I've got for now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Prime Pete. Take it easy.